What's up guys, Mike here, and today I am bringing you guys something very different. This is actually probably one of the very first reviews I've actually done on my channel for something of the technology sort, especially for something in the video game department. Before I even get started, huge shout outs to my buddy Elvis, by the way, from Switch and Play NYC, because he actually kickstarted this project, and I had no idea that this was even a thing. But once I found out about this controller, I really wanted to get on top of this. So he actually let me borrow his controller that he just got a few days ago from the lovely people over at Retro Fighters. And today we are reviewing this gem right here. If you guys don't know, this is the Retro Fighters N64 Brawler pad. And this thing is pretty sweet, I have to say. This is a legitimate Nintendo 64 controller. You guys heard that right. Just take a look. This is a controller that goes into your Nintendo 64. It is not a USB controller, although you probably could find an N64 to USB adapter plugged in that way as well. But yeah, this is a Nintendo 64 controller. The people at Retro Fighters actually had a controller like this for the regular NES Entertainment System, the old classic Nintendo console. It was a really fantastic gamepad as well. And so they ended up making one for the Nintendo 64, and I'm going to be testing it out today with a few games as well. Again, it's got a really full-on analog stick. You have your L and R buttons up here, and you have your two Z triggers on the bottom as well. Each of these two shoulder buttons are actually Z triggers. And then on the front, you have your big old start button. And then you actually have a turbo function on this thing too. So you have your turbo button, you hold the turbo button down, you press a button. You can have it mash the A button repeatedly, and then when you want to clear it, you can hold the clear button and take it off. Believe it or not, this thing also allows you to actually have a rumble pack and or memory cards. This does not end up supporting the transfer pack, unfortunately, but yeah, as much as I would have loved to have transferred stuff for Pokemon Stadium 1 or 2, I mean, you could always have an N64 controller, but the fact that this thing actually supports the rumble pack and the good old memory cards is actually really fantastic. So you put it in there. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, that's just simple enough to take out. Again, these things are usually kind of a pain to get out anyway. But again, this thing read perfectly fine on my thing. The only complaint that seems to be popping up with Retro Fighters, and I'm going to bring it up to the camera so you guys can see this, but if you're holding down the L button, you can actually feel when you're like pressing up on the analog stick and you're like moving it around with the control stick, you can actually feel it clicking against the L button here, which I'm not really a fan of. But Retro Fighters is aware of this issue and they are trying to fix it. But here, I'll just show it up to the camera so you can see this in action really quickly. Yeah, again, not exactly sure if you guys were able to see that, but you saw the L button moving a little bit as I was moving the analog stick. But again, I will see you guys in a moment. We are actually going to show off some gameplay. I'm going to give my thoughts as I'm playing some of these N64 classics with the Retro Fighters N64 Brawl Pad. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Alright, well the first game we are going to actually test out here is Super Mario 64 because, you know, Super Mario 64 is an absolute classic, and you already know how Mario 64 actually took a huge advantage of the actual 3D effects and the whole being able to move around in any direction. And honestly, using this analog stick, it's honestly very fantastic. Again, Mario is able to move very fluidly. There's like almost no delay problems. Again, like I said, you could use either of the Z triggers as well, which is fantastic. Again, I haven't played Mario 64 in a while, but I should definitely cover this game at some point. Again, I could also just tilt up on... I could actually tilt... Oh, hold on, wait. I could even tilt this very slightly, and look, Mario doesn't even, like, move very far. Now this thing is so insensitive. Mario gets a new animation. Yeah, I can slowly tilt the control stick up and then Mario will be able to move. Again, it's very nice though. The analog stick feels very good on this thing. This feels better than a normal first-party N64 controller. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play a little bit of Super Mario 64 here and just give my thoughts on it. Like for platformers, this game is absolutely fantastic. I'll probably show off another platformer as well, one that's a little bit more complex than Mario 64. I mean, not to get me wrong though, because Mario 64 is definitely complex for its time. Again, this is one of the timeless classics. There's a lot of games that were trying to match up to this game. I kind of messed up a little bit. Yeah, I haven't played Mario 64 in the longest time. Yeah, I'm absolutely sucking right now, actually. It's been a while since I've actually played Mario 64. I'm so used to Odyssey's controls. Yeah, I might actually lose against Koopa the Quick. I don't know, guys. I might not make it. Yeah, well, I don't know why I'm screwing up so badly. Screw that. Do over. Alright, let's try this again, not derp out. I had to get used to playing Mario 64 again for a minute or two. Alright, let's try that again. Because that's not letting me be like that with this game. Again, this controller is very smooth though with the analog movements, like very pin precise. Down, okay, I'm gonna be that guy. Hop in here. Alright, there we go. Again, Mario is able to tiptoe very well. I mean, I'm barely putting any pressure on the control stick. And Mario just ends up walking like that sometimes. You can make Mario move very precisely, which is fantastic about this controller. Alright. Yeah, I will definitely take that win. Alright, I'm going to test out 2 or 3 more games with this controller, so I'll see you guys on the next game. Well, if you guys don't already know me on this channel, we have the Rainbow Road hype itself. The original Rainbow Road hype. At least above Super Mario Kart. We got Mario Kart 64. Again, if you guys aren't familiar with me on my Twitch, I am actually trying to learn how to speedrun this game, so... I mean, I wouldn't be able to use this for actual speedruns, but I am going to actually test out how well this controller feels and do a quick little half a lap or a lap of Rainbow Road just to see how well this feels steering-wise. Again, the real test is going to be right over here where I start drifting. Again, even drifting with this thing feels very smooth. The R button and the control stick are very responsive. I am able to actually pull off some very precise turning here compared to a regular N64 analog stick. Again, I would not be able to actually use this for an official speedrun because of the fact that this has a turbo function on it. Turbo function is counted as a mod that would not allow this controller to be used. But if Retro Fighters ended up making a non-modded version of this, where that way it's just a pure N64 controller, that'd be great. Because again, I love this controller. Like, this thing feels very smooth. This is beyond buttery smooth. I could probably use this for some tournaments though for Mario Kart 64 down the line. Again, the analog stick is probably the best part about this controller. Like if people can take this analog stick from Retro Fighters and probably stick it into an N64 module, like forget about it. Then you'd have the best N64 controllers. Because again, this feels very smooth. But here, just to show off one. But yeah, you can use both on analog. You could use both triggers for items in Mario Kart. But yeah, let's go try out another game really quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to be playing one of the most underrated gems for the N64 in my opinion, Pokemon Puzzle League. I decided to throw this game into the lineup actually because Banjo-Kazooie, for some reason I lost all my save data on that, so I couldn't use that. But Pokemon Puzzle League is going to be very good as a choice because it actually lets us test out the D-pad. Because all the movement and everything is actually done with the D-pad in this game as well. For me, I just love using the D-pad. But right now I'm on stage 6, so I'm going to play a few things. But I think the D-pad is probably one of the weakest parts about this N64 controller. The D-pad doesn't feel as responsive. It's a little bit on the mushy side. And honestly, it's a little hard to control the D-pad, to be honest. Like, yeah, I probably might end up messing up some combos. Like, I see, like, I'm trying to hit down, but instead it's like throwing it to the right for some reason. Yeah, it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. I might be able to try with the analog stick, but I don't know if you noticed, but the D-pad could be a little wonky in this game because of this D-pad. Like, usually with the regular N64 controller, I can actually use the D-pad really well on there. Let's try it again, not screw up in like 20 seconds.
Work harder, young one.
I'm gonna try with the D-pad, but I'm gonna try with the analog stick.
Way to go!
Again, I beat him in like 18 seconds. I don't know, but for some reason the D-pad on this N64 controller for the Retro Fighters controller, it's a little bit on the mushy side. It feels like it feels like it's not as stable, or like it's not as, you know, it's not as responsive as a normal N64 D-pad. I'll try again with this one though. I'll try this and then we'll move on to the final game of this video for the review, and then I'll give my overall final thoughts on this controller really quickly. I'm trying to move it over and I can feel it like not going in the right places that I'm trying to tell it to go. Like, I'm telling it to go up, but it'll go to the left for some reason.
I'm gonna win. I told you so.
Yeah, it's hard for me to play Pokemon Puzzle League on this. Honestly, if you have a game that, like Mischief Makers or something like that uses the D-pad, I wouldn't recommend this controller for its D-pad. I would mainly use this for its analog stick and the buttons. But let's try out one more game really quickly. I am pretty hype about this last game because it just got announced recently actually. So hold on guys. You know we have to test out this game with some Super Smash Brothers. This game just got announced for Nintendo Switch. We are getting a brand new Smash Bros. With Inklings confirmed. Again, a video on that and my character wishlist will be coming soon, but for now, I kind of want to test out how this feels in Super Smash Bros. Again, I am going to show you how broken my Donkey Kong is. Fine, King Kong. Fine, you know, I'm going to put him on like level 7. I'm decent at this game, but I'm not like great. Alright, no, I'll randomize it a little bit so I'm not fighting Donkey Kong. You know, let's test out the turbo function. Alright, I'm gonna let go in 3, 2, 1. Alright, Mario it is. I'm gonna mess with him on Sector Z. Quick little 3-stock match, but that's how fast the turbo function goes. Again, the original Smash Bros. Has so much charm to it, but again, the analog stick helps it a lot when it comes to actually being able to more precisely actually hit the buttons a little bit better. Although, seriously, trying to taunt? That's it. Bitch, I throw like Goku. Yo, Donkey Kong has like one of the most broken throws in Smash Bros. And that could really help me out, actually. Again, at a lower computer level, I could like legitimately catch him and throw him all over the place. I'd like to be able to demonstrate that, but Mario's being a little bit of an annoying ass right now about it. Ah, I'll take that. Lilat Wars, Richard the Monkey. Alright, let's see if I can pull this off. Hold on. There you go, like that. Let's see if again, it's more like a higher percentage I can pull this off. I want to play catch with Mario for a little bit. Again, it's a lot of fun pulling this off, but if Mario could behave himself. Again, I haven't even lost a life yet. Nope. Yeah, whatever, I'll kill him. But yeah, I honestly, doing my usual tricks with Donkey Kong is pretty crazy. No, I want to show that off real quick anyway, though, just for fun, just because I like doing that. Alright, I'm going to go to training mode real quick. I'm gonna do this real quick, because this is a lot of fun to pull off. Alright, let's go to Lilac Cruise. Or Sector Z, rather. Again, I would just have fun fucking with my opponents like this. And then when I was done playing with them a little bit... Alright, hold on, let me get up. And then just do that when the time is right. And I know I would have a combo. I'll do this one more and then I'll call this a video and I'll give my final thoughts on this. Because honestly, I forget how fun this is. Again, Donkey Kong is like one of the most broken throws in the game. But no, trying to be able to pull this off again actually feels really smooth on this controller. And honestly, playing Smash Bros. In general feels incredibly smooth when it comes to being able to do this. It's crazy, like 1 minute you'll just have Mario and you'll just grab him. Oh, goodbye. Alright, but again, I'm gonna give my quick final thoughts on the video, so I'll see you guys in a second. But anyway, the Retro Fighters N64 controller is a fantastic controller for any N64 enthusiast. Whether you're old or new or just trying to get into this whole N64 collection, this is definitely a highly sought out third-party controller that I would recommend anybody to get. It's about $30 right now, maybe $40, something like that. It's like $30 to $40. Right now, you can pre-order one, but I ended up pre-ordering my controller like early January. I still have to wait about another month to get this as of this video, which is March 13th. I should be getting mine by the end of March, but if you pre-order yours now, you probably will not see this controller until like the beginning or middle of May at least, if not later, because they are trying to get everything together in terms of fixing the button issue with the L, the analog trigger running into the L, as well as getting this made in a whole bunch of classic colors for this thing. I hope eventually they'll do the fun colors for this thing too, like jungle green and all those other transparent colors too. That would be awesome to see for these controllers. But honestly, I can't recommend a better third-party controller overall. The D-pad's a little bit on the wonky side when it comes to games like Pokemon Puzzle League and Mischief Maker, but if you want a top-notch controller that would be perfect for Mario Party, Mario Kart 64, your Super Mario 64s, your Banjo-Kazooies, all those types of platformers, anything that requires an analog stick of the buttons, get this controller. I can't recommend it enough, because this is one of the most buttery smooth analog controller sticks I have ever actually used for a classic N64 controller. Because when you have an N64 controller, it's completely chalky on the N64 stick. You wear it down after a while. This, listen to this. Absolutely buttery smooth. You're not going to get that with this. This is going to last you for a long time. Again, it feels great. The plastic is nice and smooth. The buttons are well put. The Z triggers on the ends I'm not too bad with, because it's a little bit weird that they're spring-loaded, but honestly, that doesn't bother me too much. Other than that, very high quality controller. I definitely would recommend this. Again, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. All those links are down below. Thank you guys as always for watching. Never stop reaching for tomorrow, and until the next video, my fellow Monster Gamers, take care.